Hi, this is Wishop, and this is your weekly reading from Monday, August 3rd through Sunday, August 9th. It is very late on the 3rd, but it's better than Tuesday, so that was pretty good. Okay, so the first thing, let me mention the astrology quickly. I went into so much detail on it last week. I'm not going to talk too much about it this week, except to say that the anticipated turn of Saturn direct in Scorpio happens this week. And then it's going to basically haul itself towards Sagittarius, which I know is a position that feels a lot lighter to a lot of people. So I think that's going to be good. Today, particularly, I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it, but Virgo is retrograde in Leo, and it's sitting right there with Jupiter in Leo direct. And maybe it's because it's my birth Venus, but I'm feeling this tension just stretching me like a piece of taffy. So if you're feeling kind of stretched out, and I am feeling somewhat kind of fatigued and stretched out, and I've had a lot of interesting, enlightening kind of revelations about myself, I would say, and those were the kinds of things I was expecting with all the retrograding planets. And I don't know if you've had that too, but if you've had it, just beware, it does take a toll on you. And so you do have to rest a lot, because all of this stuff kind of churns through your insides and it could create digestive disruptions. That would be obvious, but it can create just overall sort of flu-y, fatiguey kind of feelings. But it's all good stuff. I mean, I expect it to be. I expect to emerge from this feeling pretty different and interesting and new. But anyway, just wanted to say that. So let me close up here and get into the I Ching for this week. What I got was, can you see this? This is Thunder over Earth, which here is enthusiasm. In another book I have, it's listed as happiness. And see, it says self-expression, inspiring others, self-confidence, I can read that, totality, success, sharing, and a positive response. I think the deal is this is very Leo type energy, this enthusiasm, this happiness. And the way the I Ching deals with happiness in this sense is almost as its own force of nature. Happiness, the drive toward happiness, pushes forward, and everything else follows along because happiness is kind of a good goal. This also means during these times when you're feeling a little shaky, you might have to do a little fake it till you make it, because it's also about projecting happiness to others, trying to stay cool and calm. The majority of the time you should actually be feeling pretty good, but in those little moments you don't, just try to remember that beautiful brimming Leo energy. And look at this like gorgeous image. It's light, it's carefree. Try to remember that you can have that. And this week, that light, carefree touch is actually a very powerful force. So let's go into the tarot cards for this week. This week I'm using the Widwood Tarot. I don't know why, I just sort of felt like it. Let me see if I can get this a little closer so you'll really be able to see them. And I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, 10 of Vessels, happiness, hello. 13, the Journey, in reverse. 15, the Guardian, in reverse. Okay, well, this is kind of meaningful stuff. First of all, we have 2 major arcana cards, which is always kind of a big sign, but we know that these have been big energies recently. So the 10 of Vessels, happiness, would typically be the 10 of Cups, right? And so it's this overflowing abundance. In this card, you can almost think of it as that Ace of Cups, sort of feeling this overflowing blessings of emotion and good feeling. Only instead of the ace being a new beginning, the 10 of Vessels means a kind of culmination. So we just had the full moon, so some culmination that really gives you a lot of joy. And again, in this card certainly, pardon my throat, as I said, part of this sort of funny fluey thing. If you can see this, that the happiness in this card really is its own force, right? It's overflowing the waterfall. It's filling up all the vessels. It's flowing further, but it is a force of nature, and it is not to be denied. And your happiness isn't to be denied either. So here we go. 13, the journey, which would typically be the death card. And here, this death card has a raven and the skull and the full moon. And the fact that this is in reverse and that we just had the full moon sort of tells me that whatever rebirth you were trying to accomplish, you've actually achieved it. Whatever it is you needed to do to kind of look at your life a new way or come to terms with something in a new way, you've done that. That's actually something that you've accomplished, which I think is wonderful. This 15, the guardian, let me hold this so you can see it in the light. The guardian, this is sort of the skeleton of a cave bear, and this would traditionally be the devil card. And what this points to is this is sort of the guardian of the thresholds of life and death. And this guardian sort of demands you to ask for admission. There's a way you have to sort of pay this bouncer to get into the rest of the major arcana. And part of it is you release yourself from the bonds of flesh. And that's part of what this death is about too. You've released yourself from some earthly tie that wasn't good for you. So it could be an addiction, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be you cleaned out your closets. It can be anything from what someone else would consider small to what someone else would consider large. The important thing is that it matters to you. And there's been some sort of an earthly release which constitutes a kind of death, a kind of shedding, like the snake shedding its skin. And in doing that, and I should turn this back here, you're past the devil too, right? So we've got this, if you want to go before, during, after, then it looks like, oh, you're so happy and now you have to confront these things. But I sort of take them all together and feel like the reason that you're starting to have this brimming, overwhelming happiness is because you have confronted these things, these sort of underworld things. And you can think of Saturn retrograde in Scorpio as a pretty underworld kind of a feeling. But you've confronted a lot of these underworld effects within yourself. And now you are stepping forward in happiness, in joy, in liberation, in a way that you can feel carefree about because you're lighter and looser. So the last thing I'll do is I'm pulling an oracle card from the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle deck. Let me look at the time left. Oh, plenty of time left. I thought I might end up doing this one quickly. My throat's kind of spent, but anyway, so here is our oracle card for the week. A deep secret will come to light. Okay, and the name of this is Rosslyn Remembrance, which is from Rosslyn Chapel. So can you see this here? I put extra light on it, but when I pull it forward, even though it's bigger, it's darker. Oh well. So there you go. So this deep secret coming to light could be something coming to light this weekend, or it could be a deep secret that has come to light because of the presence of the Guardian card and the Death card in reverse. It makes me think that this may be a secret that's come to light. And I can only say for myself, I have had something of a deep revelation come to light, and that is part of what I'm processing now. And you may be in that situation too, where you're just kind of letting it roll over you and trying to sort of figure out what it means. I think I'll know more what it means later, and I think you will too, but I'm not stressing, or I'm trying not to stress about it. I shouldn't say I'm not stressing, but I'm trying very hard not to. and I'm trying to maintain that sunny, light attitude, which is very much encouraged in the beautiful summer of Leo. And the more that we cling to that, the more these secrets can kind of get sterilized by sunlight, if that makes any sense. You know, they say sunlight is the best disinfectant. Sometimes these secrets have to come up from within ourselves or within our families or within the situations in our life, and then leave them out in that sunshine and just let them kind of bleach clean. And I think that's something that we can do this week. And don't let it take away from your good time, because, you know, as you know, if you're bleaching things, you can't make it happen any faster than it happens. It just happens. The process of these bones being picked clean of flesh, it didn't happen overnight. It happened in its own time. But now the secret has come to light. Everything that has to happen because of that is going to happen. So take really good care of yourself. Make sure that you're having time for fun. Cherish the revelations you're having. Dream about the new you, which you are building even as we speak. And rock on with your bad selves. Bye-bye.